Well, good morning, or good afternoon, or good evening, Mr. Trutna from Clovis High School. We're talking Math 2 today. We're going to go over some problems from Unit 9, Worksheet 2. Remember, after the video, make sure to smash that like button, and as tradition goes, here we go. So here's the joke of the day. I once made a pencil with 2 erasers. Alright, you're going to have to watch the whole video before you get to hear the end of the joke. Okay, so here is what Unit 9 Worksheet 2 looks like, and we are going to be multiplying polynomials. Alrighty, and I assigned to you guys numbers 5 through 10. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I also asked you to do numbers 14 and 15. Number 23, and number 26. Now, in class, if you were here, I already went over number 8 and 9 and number 23 with you as a class. So let's start with number 5, and what we'll do is we'll do about every other problem. So at least you have about half of the problems with a good idea, and you have a good resource on how to go back and watch this and get some help, okay? So this has been 90 seconds of me doing absolutely nothing but talking and no math yet. So let's just dive right into it. Okay, so number 1, we're going to take the binomial 2x plus 3. We're going to multiply it by the binomial x plus 4. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we're going to use the idea of the rectangle method. Okay, so I call this the magical rectangle, but it doesn't, it's nothing magical about it. Like I've told you in class, this is just a visual trick that you could use when you multiply a binomial times a binomial. So you take the first binomial, the 2x and the plus 3, and you write those terms up at the top. And notice how I did not put the addition symbol more halfway in between, traditionally like you would, between the 2x and the 3. I shifted it all the way over here and next to the 3. And the reason why I did that is so that I know that I'm going to treat this as a positive 3. Okay, then I'm going to take the terms in the second binomial, x and plus 4, and I'm going to write them along the left side of the rectangle. And I shifted the addition symbol next to the 4, so I know that's a positive 4. I'm going to cut the rectangle in half going vertically. I'm going to cut the rectangle in half going horizontally. And then what I'm going to do is I am going to take the 2 terms from each rectangle, okay, the length and the width, and I'm going to multiply them together. So in the top left rectangle, I'm going to multiply 2x times x, and I'm going to write that result in the rectangle. So that's 2x squared. Okay. Then for the top right rectangle, I'm going to take the positive 3. I'm going to multiply it by the x, and 3 times x is 3x. For the bottom left rectangle, I'm going to take the 2x, and I'm going to multiply it by the positive 4. 2x times 4 is 8x. And for the bottom right rectangle, I'm going to take the positive 3, and I'm going to multiply it by the positive 4. 3 times 4 is 12. Okay, so that tells me that my solution to 2x plus 3 times x plus 4 is the combination of all of these 4 terms added up. So it's going to be 2x squared plus 3x plus 8x plus 12. Okay, and that's your final answer unless you can combine any of these terms, like terms, to simplify your answer. And you hopefully notice that you can combine the positive 3x with the positive 8x. So that would combine to make positive 11x. So your answer to number 5 is 2x to the second plus 11x plus 12. Okay, so that's how you would have gone about doing number 5. Moving over to number 7. We have the binomial 2m plus 7. We're multiplying it by the binomial m minus 4. Okay, so once again, I'm going to use the rectangle method here to help me out. And remember, the rectangle method, all it's a trick, and it gives you a visual of how to multiply the 2 binomials out. So take the first binomial, the 2m and the plus 7. write those terms along the top and shift the plus all the way over there, so you know you're going to treat that as a positive 7 when we start multiplying it out. I'm going to cut this or divide that rectangle in half, and then I'm going to take the m and the minus 4, and remember, write the minus 4 like that, so you know when you multiply you're treating that 4 as a negative 4. Okay, so now I'm going to take each of the two terms, the length and the width of each one of the rectangles, and I'm going to multiply them together. So I'm going to take 2m times m, that is 2m squared. For the top right rectangle, I'm going to take 7, and I'm going to multiply it by m, that is 7m. For the bottom left rectangle, I'm going to take the 2m, and I'm going to multiply it by the negative 4. So 2m times negative 4 is negative 8m. And for the bottom right rectangle, I'm going to go negative 4 times positive 7, and that is negative 28. Okay, and then my answer to this problem is the combination of all 4 of those results. So my answer is going to be 2m to the second plus 7m, and it's plus 7m because the 7m is positive. Then here, since that is a negative 8m, I'm going to write minus 8m. And then here, since that's a negative 28, I'm going to write negative 28. And once again, that would be your answer if you could not simplify anything. However, because you can simplify by combining the positive 7m with the negative 8m, you go ahead and combine those like terms. Okay, so your actual simplified expression would be 2m to the second. Positive 7 minus 8 is negative 1m, and you don't have to write the 1. If you do, it's not wrong. And then minus 28. So there's my simplified expression, 2m to the second minus m minus 28. Okay, we already did number 8. We've already done number 9 in class. Whoops, hold on, somebody's calling me here. So I'm going to go ahead and then I'm going to skip number 10 and I'm going to jump down here to number 14. Okay, so number 14 is going to be 2x plus 7 multiplied by 2x minus 7. Okay, so I have the binomial 2x plus 7, so I'm going to set up my rectangle. I'm going to write the first binomial, the 2x plus 7, along the top of the rectangle. Okay, 2x and then a plus 7. And then I'm going to write the second binomial, the 2x and the minus 7, along the left of the rectangle. I'd write the minus like that so that we know that we're treating it as a negative. Okay, so now let's go ahead and multiply. So now we're going to take the length and the width of each one of the individual rectangles, multiply them together to get my result. So the top left rectangle, I'm going to multiply 2x times 2x. That is 4x to the second power. To get my top right rectangle's results, I'm going to take the 2x and multiply it by the 7, and that is going to give me 14x. To get the bottom left rectangle, I'm going to take the 2x and I'm going to multiply it by negative 7, and that makes negative 14x. And then to get the bottom right rectangle, I'm going to go negative 7 times positive 7, so that gives me a result of negative 49. Okay, so that means then my final answer is the combination of all 4 of these results. So my final answer is going to be 4x to the second power minus 14x. Didn't write that minus very well, so that's a negative 14 right there. There we go. Okay, minus another 14x. Or wait, no, this is a plus. My mistake. I'm having trouble reading my own handwriting. So it's a plus 14x. Minus that 14x, and then minus 49. Okay, and that would be your final answer if you couldn't combine any like terms, but as you can see, you can combine the positive 14x with the negative 14x, and when you combine those together, that would make 0x, so they cancel each other out. So that means your answer is going to be 4x to the second minus 49. Okay, so every once in a while, when you multiply two binomials together, you'll get a result like this, where these two terms right here will cancel each other out. And you'll just be left with an answer with two terms. Okay? Alright, so now let's shift it over to number 26. There were actually a lot of questions on number 26. So number 26, here's the concept. You're taking the binomial x minus 5, you're going to multiply it by the binomial x plus 2. So that's the first thing you're going to do. So essentially, you're going to ignore this x plus 4 at the beginning, because I have to get an answer for what these two binomials multiply out to, or what they multiply to equal, excuse me, what expression they equal. Okay, so I'm going to draw my rectangle. I'm going to write the x minus 5 along the top, my first binomial. I'm going to write the x plus 2 along the left side, my second binomial. I'm going to cut that in half vertically, cut it in half horizontally, and then I'm going to fill this out. I'm going to get an answer. This is going to be my result for x minus 5 multiplied by x plus 2. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. So x times x is x squared. X times negative 5 is negative 5x. X times positive 2 is 2x, and negative 5 times positive 2 is negative 10. Okay, so that gives me an answer of x to the second power minus 5x plus 2x, and it's plus because that's positive 2x, minus 10. Combine the like terms together, and we get an answer of x to the second power minus 5x plus 2x is minus 3x minus 10. Okay, so that right there is my answer for x minus 5 times x plus 2. But now I have to multiply that answer multiplied by x plus 4. Okay, so I'm going to have to make another rectangle and multiply this, and this is a trinomial, multiplied by x plus 4, which is a binomial. Okay, so I'm going to go the trinomial times the binomial, and then I'm going to get an answer for that, and that'll be my final answer. Okay, so I'm going to write the trinomial along the top. So x squared minus 3x minus 10. And put the minus like that, so we know that's going to be a negative 3x. Put the minus next to the 10 like that, so we know that's going to be a negative 10. Now notice I have 3 terms here, so I have to divide my rectangle into 3 parts going down vertically. Then I'm going to put the binomial x plus 4 along the left side. Since there's only 2 terms, I'm just going to cut the the rectangle horizontally into 2 parts. So if you notice, I end up with 6 rectangles here. Okay? And now I'm going to take the terms and I'm going to multiply them together. So this top left rectangle, I'm going to go x times x squared. That is x to the third power. The bottom rectangle here, I'm going to go 4 times x squared. And I'll go ahead and write these out so you can see them, which would be 4x squared. The top middle rectangle, I'm going to go x times negative 3x. Be careful about that negative. That would be negative 3x to the second power. To get the middle bottom rectangle, I'm going to go positive 4 times negative 3x. So that would be negative 12x. To get the top right rectangle, I'm going to go x times negative 10. That's negative 10x. And to get the bottom right rectangle, I'm going to multiply negative 10 times positive 4, which gives me negative 40. So that means my expression here, oops, sorry, hold on. I lost my lights for 1 second. There we go. All right, sorry. I was heating up some popcorn. I think the microwave blew the fuse. I'm almost done, so I could eat some popcorn in a second. Okay, so here's my answer. And I'm going to write it in standard form, so that means I'm going to start with the highest exponent, x to the third. Then I'm going to go to the x to the second. So I have a positive 4x to the second, and I have a minus 3x to the second. Then I'm going to have a minus 12x and a minus 10x, and then I'm going to end it with my constant, which is minus 40 or negative 40. Okay, so there's my answer. Okay, now that's my answer unless I can simplify, and if I can simplify, I can. And you can see I have some like terms. So I can combine the positive 4x squared with the negative 3x squared. Those are like terms. I can combine the minus 12x with the minus 10x. Those are like terms. Remember, for terms to be like, they have to have the same variable and they have to have the same exponent. Okay, so that's why like x to the third is not like with that 4x to the second. Yes, they have the same variable x, but they don't have the same exponent. Okay, so my simplified expression is x to the third. Positive 4x squared minus 3x squared is positive 1x squared, so I'm just going to write plus x squared. Don't have to put the 1. Negative 12x minus 10x is negative 22x, and then minus 40. So there's my answer, my expression for number 26. All right, there we go. Hopefully that helps you out. Don't want to forget the joke. It's a good one today. So there we go. I once made a pencil with 2 erasers. Then I realized it was pointless. All right, explain that to your partner. See you next time.